The prosecution of street preachers in South East Queensland must stop.
Senator Dastyari.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. I want to actually begin by thanking Senator Roberts for bringing this matter to the attention of the Senate and to myself. And Senator Roberts, I want to work with you. I want to agree with you. But you make it so hard. You make it so hard with your speeches. Now, I want to start on the broad point of principle of what Senator Roberts has come to say, and that is that freedom of assembly, freedom of association should entail that people should have the right to be able to express themselves in an orderly and sensible way within council ordinances, within council rules, in a way that allows them to express faith, or be it whatever, be it Christianity or be it another issue. They could be preaching about religion, or they could be preaching about an altruistic cause. That there is, people do have the right and should have the right. And beyond that, I think what Senator Roberts has been saying is that, in particular, we need to be careful and make sure that people have the space for religious freedom and have the space to be able to express their religious views, and that a public place in Brisbane is the type of place that should be allowed. Furthermore, I believe that what Senator Roberts has been saying is that he feels that the individual targeting of Christian street preachers has been excessive, has gone too far, and that their rights and liberties have been impacted on. Now, it's hard to speak too much to the specifics of the individual cases. I know there's been certain matters that have gone to court. I had a chance today to look at some of the court documents. As a point of principle, I think what Senator Roberts is saying is actually correct, that we need to make sure there is the appropriate space for people to be able to express their views, express faith, and that the permit system that exists around, I think it's called the PAA, is an appropriate mechanism where you get the balance right between people being able to get up and express their own religious views in a same way as a trade union or another organisation would, and at the same time have to fall within certain guidelines about what you can and can't do. I mean, people do also have the right to be able to walk being unhindered. So, on one level, I agree with what Senator Roberts' principle of what he's saying. In terms of the specifics, again, I can't go to all the specifics. But Senator Roberts, again, the language that's being used here. I mean, to use terms like cultural Marxism, to refer to as Gestapo, to start throwing banting around anti-Semitism terms, rather than try and come here and have a practical, sensible debate about how we can actually look at reforming some of these laws to make sure that there is that religious kind of freedom and that is that freedom of association. Frankly, I think the language just goes a little too far, and I think it becomes counterproductive for what is trying to be achieved. Now, look, if Senator Roberts' case is that council officers have gone too far and are not giving people enough freedom of association, and that some of their tactics have been heavy-handed, look, again, from the evidence that I've seen and from the speech, I think he has a valid point. But to go and say that this is cultural Marxism, that it's Gestapo-like tactics, and by the way, pick a dictator, pick one, right? Go down the Gestapo path, go down the Marxist path, but you're changing between the two. It's getting confusing for us lefties over here. But to banty around those kind of terms, to talk about this is a demonstration that Christianity has never been under more attack, I think frankly is just language that goes too far. I think it becomes counterproductive. I think the point that you want to make, which is a practical point, it really is. And look, I know that Senator Roberts and I are both big fans of multiculturalism, and we're both big fans of multicultural Australia. And I do note that it was today that the government did come out with their multicultural statement. Now, Senator Roberts in his speech highlighted multiculturalism as a failed ideology. I have to pull him up on that. The success of this nation since white settlement, beyond the incredible 40,000 years of Indigenous heritage, but the success of this nation has been on our ability to embrace wave after wave of immigrants and migrants, not our ability to reject them. For us to be able to take the values, the languages, the cultures, the ideas from around the world, and insofar as those values, cultures and ideas don't conflict with our universal values here as a nation, to be able to embrace them. That is the success of the Australian story. And talking about this point of freedom and religious freedom, I did want to say this to Senator Roberts and to others. From the floor of the Australian Senate, as a proud Australian with Iranian heritage, today is, as I'm sure all senators are aware, Persian New Year. So I do say to all my Irani and non-Irani friends, including my fellow Australian senators, Eid Shuma Mubarak. And we can come back to my office and we can practice those words together, but Eid Shuma Mubarak. And with that, I cede the rest of my time to the Green Senator.